Welcome, everybody, to our Ludaxx webcast. We're so happy that you joined us to learn about the Ludaxx company. We have been with the company just a few short months, and things are really, really getting exciting. We just have under 2,000 people in the company in just a few short months, and things are really starting to take off, and I'll tell you why. We have a company with Ludaxx. As you can see on the screen, the name Ludaxx, it stands for something very, very precious. Lu is the owner's last name, Jimmy and Xiaofang Lu. Their son Daniel, their son Andrew, and then the XX is for all of us and all of the hundreds of thousands of people that we'll be bringing into this great company. So the name is very, very precious. And we have a company that has a management and that has experience in network marketing. They have unquestionable integrity. Jimmy was a barefoot doctor when he was 16 in China and went on to really help people with their health and more preventative health care, growing herbs and learning how to formulate amazing products. And then he went on to earn degrees and become an attorney. But his passion really lies in helping people with their health and really helping people to take control of their own outcome of their health and how they live. And we see that in the fabulous product line that they have. Xiaofang herself has a wide experience in business. Her family has decades of experience in the network marketing industry and has extreme success in the network marketing industry. And so they really know they have something special with these products, and they want to share them with us. They want to share them with the world in the form of network marketing, and they have the integrity and the experience to do so. The timing is so amazing right now for the product need, for what we have to help people with their health. And you're going to see that in the presentation today. The products are remarkable. We have a product line that people will use regardless if there's a business attached to it. They will be using the products, getting benefits from the products, and will want to reorder and reorder over and over again. That is very, very important in a solid company. We have a compensation plan that fairly rewards the top builders as well as the new and part-time people. 90% of network marketing teams are made up of part-time people. So we have a fair, lucrative plan for the new person that's never been in network marketing and the part-time person. And then we also have a proven system, a system of duplication which includes coaching, training, skill development, that leads to part-time people creating a significant income working from home and full-time seasoned people creating extraordinary income by helping thousands of people not only change their health, but change their financial situation. We believe that Ludaxx has all of the components in place to be the next giant, to be the next big company that operates out of integrity with all of these things. And you're going to see that in this presentation today, and I couldn't be more excited. The lineup of the presenters that we have, you're going to be so impressed with. Our first one is an extraordinary young lady. She has 6 kids. Her and her husband are just really killing it. And it's because these products work, and it's because they have the experience and the right heart and the right intention to really, really succeed. So she's going to talk to you about the problem that we have and why Ludaxx has the solution. We'll bring on our next speaker. So with that, Miss Dana, would you please take over? And
thanks, Kathy. You know, guys, this is such a simple thing to do. Everybody can do what we're doing. The system is being laid out for you to build your business, whether it's conference calls or webinars or 3-way calls with your active upline or getting them to meetings, that are going on everywhere across the country. It's so duplicatable. If we can do it, I promise that you can do it too, especially if I can do it with 6 kids running around pulling at my, pants legs all the time. The science is absolutely remarkable. It's amazing. You can get online. You can Google every single one of the ingredients that are in our products. And I urge you to do that, especially with the F21, the natural sugar blocker. because that is just, it's been researched for 40, 50 years. It's different medical journals, different universities have already studied how this lowers your blood sugar. So with the science being there, it automatically means that results are coming. Testimonies are everywhere. You can get on Facebook. Every single day I'm reading something, in my text messages or my emails, or my husband's telling me somebody called him and told him what's going on. So when the results are there, does that not just make it so much easier to share? Because I believe that just really brings us to our purpose, which is just an obligation to share this product with everyone. If we're seeing the testimonies and we're seeing the results come in, obviously we should be obligated to share that with millions and millions of people, not just a small niche, because this product is for everyone. It's going to help the masses. There's a major crisis out there, and it's sugar. That's the problem. That's the cause of all these symptoms that are popping up everywhere. There's an increase in cancer, an increase in high blood pressure. Almost 150 diseases that are fed by or caused by sugar. So if we know how we can help eliminate these problems, then don't you think that we should do that? That's going to bring so many people's bodies back into balance. And just because we're sharing something that works, we're giving people a quality of life that maybe they haven't had in a long time or they've never had. We get to create a business through that. And it's a pretty lucrative business. I darn sure enjoy it, and I know that you will, or if you don't yet, as well. Sugar, I told you 150 diseases. This is just a couple of them. These are household names. Everybody understands cancer. Diabetes, that's the 7th leading cause of death in this country. Sugar feeds these things. Inflammation, arthritis. You can do some research yourself. Please do. I am not that smart. I urge you to do your own research, your due diligence, and find out how toxic sugar is working inside of our bodies. These are just a few numbers for you to throw at you that I've researched and found on my own, and you can double check me. Cancer, look at this. It's nuts. 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women have cancer. Everyone on this webinar today has been affected in some way or other by cancer. I personally have, by people in my own family that I loved and cared about. If I know that sugar is feeding these cancer cells and the growth inside of our bodies, and I definitely want to herald a message to everyone. Obesity, 97.5 million adults in this country are obese. And that number is absolutely rising, and it's rising quickly. Why? Because we've gone to Walmart, we've gone to, McDonald's or wherever it is, and we see that there's children that are affected by obesity. There's teenagers, preteens. Automatically, that's going to make that number of 97.5 million jump up. Would you agree? Yes. Diabetes, I told you it's the 7th leading cause of death in our country. Look how many people are diabetes, 104 million people. That's including pre-diabetics, but my goodness, if you research what a pre-diabetic is, it's between 120 and 125 glucose level. I guarantee you that I had, that glucose level if I was to take my sugar before I was on these products. So if I had it and I feel like I'm a pretty healthy person, I'm sure that more people have that than I actually know about it. Insomnia, I kind of always joke about this. It's not Ludaxx insomnia. It's not the insomnia you get after you watch Todd do the compensation plan. This is actually, insomnia that's caused by sugar. It feeds this. Hypertension, high blood pressure. 30% of Americans suffer from high blood pressure. These are scary numbers, and they're on the rise, and we're going to find out why in just a couple of minutes. This is pretty scary to me because in 25 years, this was an extreme increase. It went from 30 million people globally who had diabetes. And when you hear the number 30 million, that's pretty big, right? Absolutely. But it's not when you compare it to what happened up through 2010. 346 million people around the globe on planet Earth have diabetes. And do you think from 2010 to 2012 that it stayed the same? Do you think it went down any? Absolutely not. It's going up, and it's going up quickly. And here's why. Back in the 1820s, people only consumed 8 pounds of sugar a year. And look what it's done up through 2000. And I understand that that's an old chart. I understand that from 2000 and 2012, it probably went on a straight incline. But now we're well up to over 120 pounds of sugar per year. I've read 2 different studies. They range from about 130 pounds to 156 pounds per year that the average American is consuming. Now, I'm not going to tell you which side of the scale I'm on, but I weigh somewhere in between that. So I kind of always joke with my husband and say, look, you're consuming as much sugar a year as I weigh. I know I'm sweet and all. I'm just kidding. But that's pretty scary. So that's on the rise, too. And here's part of the reason. You know, I hear that sugary drink. And when I read this, it says half of the U.S. population over the age of 2 consumes a sugary drink every single day. Well, sugary drink is defined as, you know, a Coke or a Pepsi or sweet tea if you're down here in the South with me. What about juices? Orange juice, apple juice. I try to give my 2-year-old apple juice thinking it's a healthy solution, and it's not, because when I turn around and read the label, it's just as bad as drinking a soda. That's pretty scary. So just by drinking one sugary drink a day, look what it's doing to our country. But poor diet quality, weight gain, obesity is on the rise, and absolutely type 2 diabetes is on the rise as well. This came from the National Center for Health Statistics, so you can double check it if you'd like. This is kind of funny to me because I have always been a big Coke drinker, and then I saw this slide, or I saw this picture online, and it says that there's 22 packs of sugar in a Coca-Cola. Isn't that nuts? I mean, I would never sit down at a restaurant and like rip open the packs of sugar there in the little caddy on the table, but there's 22 of them in a Coke, so I think that's pretty scary. This also kind of hit home with me since I am a Coke drinker. 65 grams of sugar in one 20-ounce Coke. And what's really scary about Coke is there's 3,500 other Coke products. Is that a lot? I mean, who knew that, right? 1.7 billion Cokes are served every single day, but that's not including those other 3,500 products. That's not the Mr. Pibb and the Fanta and the Fresca or whatever else they have in their brands. Coca-Cola is the largest consumer of refined sugar in the whole world. So you better have a solution if you're going to drink their 3,500 products. Would you agree? I put this slide in here only because my husband is an absolute cereal junkie. He eats cereal every single night, no matter if we just had the, you know, largest dinner of the year or not. He just loves cereal. But what's kind of scary about this is I read an article that it's the same thing as giving our kids a Twinkie and sending them out the door to school. That's how much sugar are in these boxes of cereal. You can look at the number 1 cereal on this list. It's the worst cereal out there because over 55% of that box is pure sugar. We would never give our kids a Twinkie and send them to school, but we're really doing the same thing, the equivalent of it, by giving them a bowl of cereal or 2. I have boys in my house. They don't ever just eat one bowl of cereal. I want you to do this. I want you to Google toxic sugar. I want you to go to YouTube and put in toxic sugar or Dr. Oz, or especially this clip. This came from 60 Minutes, Dr. Robert Lustig. He's kind of just sounding the alarm of how toxic sugar is. He's letting us know what the problem is and how it started. And what happened was back in the 70s, they thought fat was the big problem. So they started to reduce it. They started taking it out of everything. But what do you think happened? Food didn't taste good. They took all the fat out. So they had to do something. So what tastes good? What do we all love? Yes, sugar. So then you can see the numbers in obesity across the nation. It was only a 10% number with people with obesity here in the country. Look what it did. It went straight up, 62%. Do you think that's a big jump? It sure is. So not only is obesity on the rise, but cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, all those symptoms that we talked about a few minutes ago are on the rise. Dr. Robert Lustig actually believes that sugar should be regulated just like alcohol and just like tobacco. And, you know, that might sound funny to some of you, but it's absolutely the truth because sugar is killing probably more people than alcohol and the tobacco. So that's pretty scary. Dr. Oz, he is our best friend, right? How many people watch Dr. Oz? Like every single woman in America. There's probably a few men too. I don't know if they admit it or not, but either way, if Dr. Oz says something, people are listening. Why? Because he's reputable. He's respected. He's very prominent on TV right now. And right now he's with Dr. Lustig. He's sounding the alarm. He's telling us sugar needs to be out of our house. If he had to pick one food to get out of our house, he said he would pick sugar. So that means off the dinner table, out of our kids' lunches, out of their cereal bowls. And so if Dr. Oz is telling us, do you think people are listening? Absolutely. Do you think it's good if we have an all-natural solution to this problem? Yes, it's free advertising on the Dr. Oz show. That's pretty awesome. What do you think? How do we get sugar out of our system? What do? Do we eat a lot of vegetables? Kathy told you guys, I have 6 kids. I know that is absolutely crazy, but I do. And my husband's very busy. He goes to meetings 4 or 5 nights a week. We do these webcasts 2, 3 times a week. We do conference calls every single day. Not to mention, I'm dragging my kids all over town for cheerleading, for drum lessons, vocal lessons, whatever it is. We go to church 3 times a week. So I have really good intentions that I want to feed my kids well every single night. But do you think that happens? No. I'm telling you now, it does not. I feed them a lot of pizza here lately, and I'm not proud of it, but it's just what it is. I'm not the only busy parent out there. I'm sure that you guys feel the same way. So even though I want to cook like this, it's almost impossible for me in my lifestyle right now. How about this one? Do you want to exercise more? I would like to exercise more, but again, it kind of goes back for me to my busy schedule. And that's exactly what I look like standing on the stair step or when I do drag myself to the gym. But what about those women that are in the gym that look really good and they're like on the treadmill for 2 hours and they look real hot in spandex? Lauren, he's going to come on in a few minutes. He's really fit. He goes to the gym probably 7 days a week, maybe twice a day. I don't even know. But does that get the sugar out of their system? No, it doesn't. The sugar's still there. They look good in spandex, and they have good cardio. And I think Lauren can walk on his hands. I don't know if I'm even allowed to tell you that, but he can. But he still has sugar in his system if he's eating it and not using the all-natural solution that we're going to talk to you about in a minute. How about this one? Take another challenge? Has anybody taken a challenge? Has anybody started a New Year's resolution? Probably everybody at least once. I know my husband and I, we promoted a challenge. We got paid a pretty decent amount of money, and we drove a free car. That's pretty cool, right? But you know what? In 2.5 years, I never, ever started the challenge. And my husband did 3 times, and he never finished it. So did anybody finish it? Yeah, sure. Some people are really disciplined, and they make it through that 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is. But do you think that they stick with it for the next 30 years? No. Are they skipping a meal and eating a bar or drinking a shake or whatever that challenge is for them? Probably not. So what happens? They go back to what they love, right? They go back to Starbucks or Coke or the double cheeseburger and fries, whatever it is. So that's probably not the solution either. So this is where all the problem lies, what we eat, how we can't get rid of it. So I'm going to throw it back to Kathy, and she's going to bring on our next presenter. Kathy, are you there?
Thank you so much, Fiona. Just fabulous job as usual. And, you know, every time I watch this, I really get in tune with the issues out there and how we have no really control on our own. And I'm so excited that we have the solution. And here to talk about the solution with the Ludaxx is a registered physical therapist and clinical educator for Loma Linda University in Southern California. He owns his own practice of 5 offices. And guys, he's earned 7 figures in the network marketing industry as well. He is a very passionate man about health, fitness, and really wanting to reach out and teach people how to live to their fullest, to live to their best. And he is so fired up about Ludaxx, and he is the perfect person to present our solution with Ludaxx. So, Lauren, are you there?
I am, Kathy. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, listen, I tell you, what an opportunity we have here. And hearing the problem that Dana just explained, it just makes me passionate and want to scream to the mountaintops the fact that we really do have a solution with the horrible diet and that we are experiencing in our culture just because of our busy lifestyles, despite our good intentions. So I want to talk, before I hit on the Ludaxx products, just helping you understand that I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours evaluating hundreds and thousands of patients and looking at the devastating effects of the poor diet or even good diet on the blood. Because there's an ancient philosopher out there that says, his name is Hippocrates, you may have heard of him, that said, you are what you eat. And boy, is that true when you realize the effects of the diet on our blood. Now, I have a phase contrast microscope in my office, and it magnifies your blood 1,000 times. And so we're going to take a look at what the blood looks like on a normal specimen. Because you might be asking yourself, based on your own diet, what does your diet look like? And what is it affecting your blood? How does it look for you? So I want to look at this first slide. Healthy blood. Healthy blood, these are normal red blood cells that are 7.2 microns in size, which is the perfect size. This is evidence of somebody who's on a great raw diet, primarily raw. I'd say over 51% of the diet is raw foods, fruits and vegetables, and does very little, probably very modified sugars in your diet. So let's look at this. You can see each cell is perfectly round, loaded with hemoglobin. It looks like a round ball because inside the cell is wonderful hemoglobin rich in oxygen, and that's what gives you the energy. Now, these cells are floating around in what I call a clear blue sky, and this is very clean blood, I call it. There's an old saying that says, dirty playground, dirty kids, clean playground, clean kids. And I would hope that your blood might look like this. But let's go to the next slide. What happens when you look at your diet and it's loaded with more than raw fruits and vegetables, but maybe loaded with saturated fats, extra proteins, maybe some sugars in there, more than you'd like, but because of the busy lifestyle, what happens is that the blood becomes dirty. We call it sticky, dirty blood, dirty, sticky blood. And the cells actually now start to adhere together because of the excess proteins and fats that are in the blood. This can also be caused by dehydration. I know many of us aren't doing the water intake like we could because dehydration can cause sticky blood as well. What's wrong with this sample, and as we see the cells stuck together, is that we have lost the surface space. And so now the body's going to compete for oxygen. Somebody who looks like this is very often the one complaining of low energy. They're not sleeping well at night because the body simply is not assimilating oxygen, which is what it needs for vital energy. Now, this here is called undigested sugars. As the person gets more undigested sugars in the bloodstream, the liver becomes taxed. The liver is the filter for the blood in your body, and when it becomes stuck with excess sugars and proteins, it spills off into the blood and becomes very blotchy, as you can see. What looks like spicules or broken glass, I call it, those are evidence of a stressed liver. Now you can see the blotches are undigested sugars, and as we look at that, this is what is causing the body to be a spawn for fungal forms and becomes very acid, and this is where the onset of disease is. As we look at the next slide, this is now evidence of crystallized sugars. You probably never thought of it before, but when the excess sugar comes into the body, what we call uric crystals, excess proteins in the blood, these cause those sugar platelets to crystallize. And what's the problem here is that this can scratch and cause inflammation on the internal walls of your veins and your arteries, in the heart, and your organs become very stressed and painful. And now the body's in an inflammatory state, which again now becomes a setup for disease and metabolic disorders. Now this is crazy because if I could show you this slide right here on a video, you can see on the top is looks like a blob, a slug, and he's actually sitting on top of an undigested sugar. And what your body is doing in this state is it's actually fighting for your best interest, trying to get rid of that thing. It many times cannot get rid of it because it's just there's too much abundance of sugars coming into the body, too many proteins coming into the body, and fats, undigested, saturated fats. But it's very fascinating to know that this is evidence of your body fighting for your best interest, trying to get rid of those undigested sugars and fats. All right. Now I want to share with you now what we call a system. Now, you can understand that as I saw the Ludaxx products and was starting to understand what sugar block meant, I'm thinking to myself, if there really is a way that we could supplement and block this sugar from entering into the body, that would be a miracle for me, because then it would solve all the problems that we just saw in the blood. It would massively reduce the amount of those sugars that we saw in the blood and really open up the body and allow the oxygen to be fully absorbed, and now you could live a life of vibrant energy. Isn't that what we really want? So as we look at the products here, you can see the sugar blocker is the first product, followed by the Pearl, which is a wonderful antioxidant-rich product that's going to repair the damage that the sugars have done to our vessels. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then we have the Conley Tea. This is what I call a blood cleanser. We just saw what dirty blood looks like, so we have a solution to now cleanse and nourish all the cells in our bodies. So this is a wonderful system that I have learned that is so powerful and simple to take. So let's get into this. The F21 actually stands for Formula 21. For every 1 gram of L-arabinose blocks 20 grams of sucrose toxic sugar. Amazing. So we have 3 ingredients, components within this one single tablet. We have the L-arabinose, which is a natural sugar. We have the polysaccharide crescin, which is an antioxidant and a very strong immune booster. And then we have the konjac mannan root. Each tablet inhibits 10 grams of sugar from absorbing the body. So I know we do our best to try to limit the sugars, but guess what? You don't have to be perfect. You do your best, but if you think you're going to have 10 or 20 grams of sugar in your meal or in a cookie or something you choose to eat, you can match the sugars with the Formula 21 and literally block the sucrose from entering your body. We've done so many fun tests with this, checking the glucose before you ingest any sugars. Go ahead and take the sugar and see if you can get a spike. But guess what? We're finding that over and over consistently, we're finding a stabilization of the sugars, limiting the insulin spike. And what I want you to know is if we can truly limit the insulin from spiking in our blood, it's the excess insulin that spikes in the body that goes to stored fat. If you want to limit belly fat, guess what? Let's stop that insulin from spiking, and it's exactly what F21 does. It also feeds the probiotics, which is the healthy bacteria. It becomes a dietary fiber in the bowel, so this is what makes for wonderful digestion here. I'm going to give you a testimony real quick. There's 2 patients of mine, one of which got on the F21 who is having horrible, devastating effects from a condition she had with anorexia, so she had a very stopped-up system. She rarely went to the bathroom, number 2, and it was very difficult for her to do this, but she found that after taking 5 tablets of F21, that within the hour she was actually going to the bathroom in a healthy way. But then, on the other end of the spectrum, I found another patient of mine. She was riddled with a condition that caused her to have diarrhea almost every day of her adult life. And she found that when she took the F21, it caused her to have a healthy bowel movement. So we have a restoration of dietary symptoms coming to full fruition, where now these 2 ladies on opposite ends could live a normal, healthy life. It's really changed their life. Now, another interesting thing is the appetite suppressant. Now, here's the deal. How many of you have overeaten because your eyes were bigger than the plate, right? If you're thinking ahead of time, you can take 2 or 3 of these, maybe 20 minutes before your meal, and the konjac mannan root actually will swell 60 to 300 times the size of the original molecule in your stomach, so you can have a sense of fullness. You won't eat as much as you normally would. You'll be more full before that time, before the break in your diet, because there's a hormone in your brain called leptin that calms down your hunger. And so it speaks to those hormones. It helps to balance out your hunger. It strengthens the immune system, and of course it's an all-natural, organic, whole food. And that's what's nice to know, is that you're dealing with no chemicals and no synthetic compounds in these products. Now here's where it gets exciting. I got all excited about the sugar blocker at the very front end of this company as I started to learn. But then here comes PEARL, which is an acronym for Power, Energize, Anti-Age, Rejuvenate, and Life. The way I can see it, as you saw at the front end with the slides of the blood, the sugar is a devastating effect. It's like a sandblast to the windshield of the cells of your body. It's damaged you. It's continuing to inflame your body in ways that you have no idea. You know one thing, though. You're just not feeling good. You're not sleeping good. Your energy's not good. Yet the quality of your skin is less. Your hair's not like it used to be. And these symptoms of degradation are setting in, and you don't know what to coming from the effects of sugar. So the pearl comes into play where we have a very powerful antioxidant. It's restoring back the elasticity in the walls of your veins and your arteries. It's bringing back more efficiency of how your body can circulate now. It's a great anti-allergy agent, and wonderful stories out there of people with allergies where this is helping to bring back a balance in that arena. Anti-aging benefits. Who doesn't want to get better results in their aging, But when you can understand the elasticity restoration that happens with a strong product that Pearl has, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to see the difference in your own skin. You're going to see your hair growing differently. You're also going to notice an anti-inflammatory effect. Because of the sugar, you're going to get a huge inflammation process going on in your gut. And Pearl does exactly that. It reduces the inflammatory processes, bringing back restoration in an environment where those cells can now heal. It also lowers the cholesterol. It strengthens the immune system. It becomes a natural body detoxifier. And then lastly here, the high ORAC value score is huge. Now, you may not know what ORAC means. I'm just going to take a second and tell you. It's oxygen radical absorbance capacity. In other words, it's a huge protection for your DNA. Now, if there's any way you can anti-age here and preserve your DNA, that's exactly what the Pearl's going to do. All right, now we have the Conley tea. I look at this as a wonderful way to cleanse and nourish the cells. If you have that dirty windshield in your body that's been pelted by the sugars, how can you cleanse it? How can you buff it back to its original state? By putting 1 or 2 bags of tea in a water bottle, you can simply just drink this tea all day long, hydrating your body back, getting those cells to unstick now by the hydration, and getting that cleansing property going on every cell in your body. Once it's cleansed, you can now nourish back all those proprietary blends of ingredients that are in the tea that are wonderful phytonutrients that are going to restore. You've got high potency in the adaptogens to fill the gaps of where you're missing all the ingredients in your body and in your diet that are gapping. The adaptogens restore back and fill those gaps. Nourishes vital organs. Let me tell you, the heart, the kidney, the liver are the 3 most vital organs that are going to benefit by flooding the nourishment through those circulatory organs and restore a clean body. I mean, we clean our oil filters all the time. We clean our pool filters all the time. You think of all the filters in our life that we're constantly cleaning. This is a way you can simply clean your filter. Your liver is going to be wonderfully happy. There's a saying that says, happy liver, happy person. And so this is why now the metabolism becomes very enhanced because the liver is responsible for the metabolism. And so when you cleanse that liver filter, things can really live more happily in your system. The digestive system also becomes wonderfully cleansed. With the mucosa becomes cleaned out. In the lining of the small and large intestines, those mucous membranes that are clogged and sticky now can start to restore themselves and assimilate all these phytonutrients in a much more dramatic way. And then it flushes the body toxins and the bio-waste. So all in all, you can see that simply by taking these 3 products in this system, you don't have to know the science of it too much. Do some research. Do your diligence. And trust and know that these products are going to create a story for you that you've probably never experienced before. After all, you want to become addicted to the good feeling. I don't think many even really understand what it feels like to live a vibrant existence with a clear mind and happy cells. But once you take these products, you'll start to have your own story, and we'd love to hear your story very soon. So with that all being said, I'm going to tell you that we have a compensation plan that's going to back up these products, because when you take these, you're going to naturally want to share them. It's like going to a good movie or going to a good restaurant. We are natural networkers. When we get excited about something, you can't not tell somebody about it. So I'm going to pass this out over to Todd, and Todd is very much a numbers guy. He's made it very strong in this industry. He's made 7 figures in a single year, and he's spent many, many hours understanding compensation plans in this industry. And so what he did is he linked up with Jimmy Lou, and Jimmy Lou and Todd have really been the architects of creating this compensation plan, taking the characteristics of all different compensation plans and creating one powerful comp plan that will benefit the newest guy and then the biggest, strongest networker in this industry. We can all become excited about the lucrative opportunity that we have in Ludaxx. So with that, Todd, are you there?
I'm here. Hey, thanks, Lauren. Man, I'm excited. Let me tell you. Actually, before we get started, at the bottom of the webinar, there's a link that says download compensation plan in a PDF form. So if you want to go ahead and click on that, you'll be able to download the compensation plan in a PDF file, and you can follow along. Like Lauren said, I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of comp plans. I've consulted many network marketing companies and actually designed compensation plans for network marketing companies. So what I'm going to share today, you're not going to believe it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first way we get paid. Actually, you got to come in with a membership. It's $30. That membership allows you to have a Ludaxx replicated website for 1 year. It's actually going to let you buy wholesale and sell retail. You can see the example here on the page. Buy for $50 and turn around and sell it for $70 if you want. Or you'll have that replicated website where you can actually direct your distributors to sign up. These are our packages. We actually have a basic package for $50 and a Ruby package for $500 and an Emerald for $1,000. Right now, since we're in pre-launch, we're going to be in pre-launch till March 17th. We're going to launch on a cruise ship. We're going to be doing a Ruby promotion, which is $500. That's going to grandfather you in at the Ruby rank, and the Ruby rank gives you 4 levels at the Uno level. The Emerald package is $1,000, and it's going to grandfather you in at the Emerald rank, which gives you 5 levels in the Uno level, which you don't have to qualify for the volume. So right now those promotions are going on till March 17th. The second way we get paid is actually what we call fast track money. These are actually people that you bring into the business on their first initial orders. So we actually pay 4 levels, 20, 10, 5, and 5. Most network marketing companies only pay, 1 level. We pay 4 levels. Here's an example. I'm at the top. I sponsor Jimmy. Well, Jimmy comes in an Emerald package, which is $1,000. I would receive $200. Well, Jimmy sponsors Daniel at an Emerald. I would receive $100 since that's the second level of 10%. And then you can see it goes down 5 and 5. The third way we get paid is actually what we call the fast track bonus. The fast track is actually calculated. They take 5% of all first order sales and 1% of all auto ships, and they put it into a pool. So this is just another way to come into the business. You're making a lot of money off the fast start. Now we actually have a fast track. This is another pool at the beginning of the compensation plan. And how you qualify for this pool is actually you come in and sponsor 3 and then help them get their 3. And if you do that, you get 1 share. You can do that 3 or 4 times in a month, so you can have as many shares as you want. The second way to qualify for this pool is a point system. Let's say you're not quite a business builder, but you're a massive recruiter. Well, we have another way so you can get a share in that pool. A basic package, you get 1. A Ruby, you get 2. And an Emerald, you get 3 points. So once you get 12 points in a calendar month, you also get another share in that pool. You can have as many shares as you want during the month. And the shares right now are ranging anywhere from $300 to $400. Number 4 is our fast start bonus pool. And how this is calculated is you take 3% of all fast start sales, they go into a pool. And once you reach the rank of Crown, Triple, Diamond, or higher, then you get to participate in this pool. What's awesome about this pool is some of this volume might not even be coming from your group, but since it's a pool, you still get to participate in that pool, and it could be global. So this is awesome for the leaders. Number 5, the unilevel. I call this a hybrid unilevel. So basically this is, we get 5% off all auto ships that are within our levels. We pay 7 levels at 5%. And if you remember at the beginning we were talking about the Ruby and Emerald pack. We get 4 levels on the Ruby and 5 levels on the Emerald. There's something unique about our comp plan right here. I want to kind of go over it. Most compensation plans, you actually have to have the 60-40 rule all the way up, all the way from Crown, all the way up through the whole entire compensation plan. Well, here at Ludaxx, I've never seen this done in the industry. You can actually come in and you can sponsor 3 individuals on your front line, and let's say one leg takes off. Well, let's just say that leg is doing 100,000 in volume. You can take 60% of that volume in that leg, which is 60,000. That actually qualifies you for Crown Double. And if you look here on the comp plan, Crown Double qualifies you for all 7 levels. There's not a comp plan out there that lets you qualify off of one leg, 7 levels. We actually have what we call dynamic compression and normal compression. Let's say somebody is on your first level and they aren't on auto ship. So dynamic compression, what happens is the people that are on the second level would move to your front level. That's what we call dynamic compression. Normal compression is you're in the company, you buy a yearly membership, you're in for 1 year. After the year, if you don't renew your membership, they'll actually remove you from the unilevel. So we have 2 different types of compression, dynamic as well as normal compression. Number 6, this is actually our generation bonus. I love this bonus. Once you become a Crown, Triple, Diamond, or higher, we'll actually pay you 3% to infinity. Because right now in the unilevel, we only get paid levels 1 through 7. So we'll actually pay you from 7 to infinity 3%. And we pay actually 4 levels of generation. The 7th way we get paid is our lifestyle bonus. I also love this bonus. This bonus is paid on Crown, Triple, Diamonds, and higher. We don't have a car bonus. We actually have a lifestyle bonus. This is 10 times better. Instead of getting a one-time check, a lot of companies out there give these big checks, and they're one time, and then they take it away. Well, here at Ludaxx, once you reach these ranks, Crown, Triple, Diamond, or higher, we'll pay you $1,000 a month up to $8,000 a month as long as you're qualified for as long as you're a distributor in Ludaxx. This is awesome. So it goes on forever. It's not just a one-time check. So I love the lifestyle bonus. Number 8, this is calculated. They take 1% of all the unilevel sales, which is the auto ships, and they put it into a pool. And at the end of the month, they take how many people qualify for that, and they divide it out. But you have to be Crown, Triple, Diamond, or higher. That's the 8th way we get paid. All right, the Power 3. I love the Power 3. That's actually what I built in our previous company, is the Power of 3. Just going to click on it and show how it works. So you come in, you sponsor 3, and you help them get their 3. And then if you notice down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we actually have, it's called the Crown Room. Here at Ludaxx, we have a Crown Room. A lot of companies, they either have a holding tank or whatever they want to call it. We call it, ours called the Crown Room. And how that works, let's say you go out and sponsor 6, 7 people. Every one of those that you sponsor go into the Crown Room. You actually have 2 calendar months to place them within your unilevel. This is awesome because at the beginning you might sponsor, like I said, 5 or 6. 2 or 3 of them might not be builders and you wouldn't want to put them on your front line. This allows you to structure your organization the way you want, up to 2 calendar months. This is just for an example. You can see how the Power of 3 works. 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, 729, 2187. This is how fast the Power of 3 works. This can happen daily. This can actually happen weekly or a month. In our previous company, we were growing 1,500 people a day, and we put over 60,000 people in 9 months by doing the Power of 3. So you can see this is just on an average auto ship of $100 at 5%. That's our comp plan. I'll tell you what, it's pretty exciting. I'm going to turn it back over to Kathy.
Thank you so much, Todd. And as you guys can see, we are just ready to go. I mean, we are in pre-launch. We're just under 2,000 people in a few short months. We're well-founded with the Lu family. We're well-funded. We have a category-creating product that everybody needs. We have an amazing compensation plan that everybody can profit from. And as you heard from the leaders that just gave you this presentation, we have the leadership that has a proven system. These people have earned multiple six and seven figures in the industry, and we have that leadership. We have that system. Please, I urge you, get back to the person that put you on this webinar and get started with us today. We're excited to welcome you to the team. We're excited for you to be a part of the next big giant in this industry, Ludaxx. So thank you so much, and we will be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.